a puppy? Oh, he's a good boy. Oh, ho, ho, that is sick. This game's just getting better and better every year. Alright, what do I want to do? Where do I want to go? And I'm about to blow. Make it, sorry motherfuckers, out of here.
eager to start throwing out it.
Like your torches and set your enemies in place over there. Let enemies of the branch will make quick work of this place.
Leave no house unburned. For licking Eldon and Wakeman's boots.
Watch my way. I'll get to the bell. Get behind if you can. God won't let us lose. Stick with me. Almost there. What's happening? Northman! Raven!
Ah, the smell of burning roof thatch and heavy turf fire. But keep my eyes open. Now that was something. Wakeman is sure to take notice.
You stand and roared like a fiery Surturn himself, marching through the flames of Muspelheim. I'll see you back home, Drenga.
This priest blows as much air as a hailstorm. He cannot be allowed to keep spewing.
Did you sail through a storm? You never mentioned.
going on, Claire?
Mitch. So fucking, I'll be able to get a PlayStation tomorrow, as long as I wake up at like fucking 12 in the morning.
Jesus Christ.
Because fucking Walmart's the only place I'm gonna trust to be able to go online and get one. Like, not trust as in like security wise, trust as in like I'm gonna go online and it's still gonna hopefully fucking be there.
Yeah, I know, I get ya.
And so hopefully tomorrow, like I set an alarm for 12 p.m. So fucking, I can hopefully be awake by then, go online, order that shit.
Yeah, no, apparently half my list is playing this game with me.
What?
Valhalla, like Redbeard got it, which didn't surprise me. He pre-ordered Odyssey last year, so this one didn't shock me. He had Odyssey like the day it dropped, so I remember watching a bit of Odyssey the day it dropped. Obviously, because that's how it was with Red Dead 2. I played that game before I ever owned Red Dead. I actually got halfway into the story before I ever actually owned the copy. And it's because we started a game, he handed me the controller, and he went, keep playing, I'm going to start a new file after you leave, this is yours.
So basically you not owned 3 Assassin's Creeds before you played them. One was mine. One was yours.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. A lot of the Assassin's Creeds I've borrowed and played and somewhat beaten or something before I ever technically owned them.
Besides the ones that you have to buy online.
Yeah, I mean like Origins, yeah, that one was half and half because I got partway into the game and then I bought a digital copy and then gave you your copy back.
Yeah.
I ended up with a digital because it was cheap with Odyssey. It was about the same time I got Odyssey because it was like dirt cheap with all the DLC and I was not passing that up.
Yeah.
Like those are the times I got the Shadow of Mordor too just for the hell of it.
Have fun. You're not. You're
like that one's
I'm gonna have to hear you scream a fucking million times. Like I'm not saying like you're the worst at this, but like when it comes to me or you, when it comes to getting angry at games, I don't fucking scream at all. And then there's you and you're like, motherfucker.
Like, okay, I mean, like, when it comes to basketball, I mean, like, I know what skill level they should be doing, I know what plays they are able to run, and I know their shooting ability, so when I get mad at that...
I know what to expect when I'm imagining you playing middle.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, one thing they did do for Valhalla that was better, and this is not really much of a spoiler, is you remember when we would invade shit and we would die, and it would bring us so far back it wasn't even funny? Like, and whatever we were doing...
I never died that much. I died a handful of times.
Like, when we would do a fort, like, per se, we were in the middle of a fort, and a mercenary would fuck our day up in the middle. And then we would have to restart...
Like, it wouldn't put you... Because that's not an actual mission.
Yeah, but it would, like, restart you so far from, like, where you saved, pretty much. It would be your exact last save. Where this one automatically... It's like the older ones. It had an automatic save point that it would bring you just before whatever happened, and it actually doesn't fuck you too bad.
But it's because it's like open world at that point. It's not like a cutscene or anything. It's not like a main part of the game. It's just like, oh, you want to go to this outpost and deal with the leader there? So we can go for it. But if you die, you're gonna have to do it again. Yeah, and like I said last night, they are now called world events now for what we are for side missions, and there's not a lot of them. It's like literally like it's more or less puzzles and shit. We actually get to enjoy more allure of the game than a side quest. Which is, I don't mind that. I actually, like, it still is like a little bit, it's pretty much what we would do in a side quest, though. That's the thing, when we started, it is pretty much you go and help a few people, and they give you a treasure to discover something, so it's like a half and half situation. In the end, you'll pretty much reward yourself by beating a lot of the side quests and getting a lot of shit done, but you're also doing smaller side shit that the game would want you to do. I have it downloaded, I'm just gonna wait till the PlayStation out with it.
I don't blame you.
I don't feel like fucking having my PlayStation blow up on me.
Because you want to play the newest Assassin's Creed, yeah.
Not even just that, any new fucking game, if I tried to play, I would imagine fucking my PlayStation just being like, are you on that?
Yeah. But yeah, no, just everything this year is done by a power level instead of an actual, like, level. Yeah. So it's like, once you reach about half the power level, they'll allow you into that area. So it's not, it's more of a wider gap of you allowing to be there. It's not strictly, you have to be this exact level. It's, we suggest you to be this power, but once you're close enough, we will turn it white.
Really kind of did like that, though.
No, it has been like that in the older games. I remember that. In the older games. You shouldn't go... Yeah, it was like, especially in Syndicate, that was like the first one to really do that one, where it was like, do not go to this part of England until you're this exact kind of level and power.
It's just whatever area it was in any game. It's just like, if you went there and it was like level 60 or 58 or whatever, you were level 50, and it was like, yeah, I wouldn't go with you if I was you.
Yeah, whereas now they'll turn it white when they will allow you more to travel there and when it's more open to your liking. They'll turn the area white for you instead of red.
Yeah.
Which is nice, but I mean, there's a lot of collectibles that I'm not understanding this year, and most of them are the Templar symbols and a mask symbol. I don't know what those do. But there's lots of codex stuff. Like, obviously, it's like your standard Assassin's Creed for collectibles, but there's armor pieces that pop up now, and they really milk the whole buying the extra map bullshit. Or else you're going to be scavenging bullshit and clicking R3 a lot. That's the new Eagle Vision. They don't want...
You're probably not going to be scavenging it. I don't do that kind of stuff. Like, if I don't have to do it whatsoever, then I'm not going to.
Oh, yeah, you will for your abilities. Like, in order to just look at an ability, you will have to find these plates of books of knowledge around the map. It's horseshit. You have to do this shit for some of the quest shit, or else you're not going to have a good layout. I have 3 actual abilities. 2 are bows and 1's something to do with a melee weapon. And it's because they're random. You find this book, you read it, and it's like, hey, here's the ability that the book assigns you. You don't get a choice. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's not like the older games anymore. It's mandatory. You grab the ability. It's this ability. You move on with your day and go grab a new one.
It's not really mandatory because, like, if you don't care for the skill.
No. The abilities don't really matter so much, but they are very helpful. I would not pass those up this year.
I'm obviously saying they're helpful. Yes, I'm just saying like nothing is mandatory in that sense. Because
yeah, no, exactly. It's more or less you can just do a skill tree of just your bare minimum fighting abilities. Yeah. And your range attacks, poison, fire abilities, whatever, through your skill list, and that will do you well. You don't really need the abilities. That's more or less a side update. For once, they've turned a lot of it into side shit. Which I've more or less agreed with, finally. It's like, you know what? I think they actually nailed Valhalla more or less gameplay ready, all right on the head. It's finally good combat skills. There's lots of, like, dismemberment. Finally...
Yeah, it's the same, like, when it comes to combat skills, like, they can't really... change that much. It's just
well, they never allowed us to curb stomp people's head into the ground. We can in this game.
No, because I was just saying it depends on the region. Because yes, Vikings were more brutal than say fucking Spartans or fucking
yeah.
Egyptians weren't just that bad. Just fucking heads constantly.
And a lot of the like executions are you literally stealing your opponent's weapons, throwing their own sword through their bodies, jamming spears through them. You're like, oh what? This one's so, yeah, it is so, like, it's just more violent and more, like, you know, showing of the graphic compared to the older games now. Yeah, but it's...
Very, very brutal people.
Well, it's not. It's just, like, this is the kind of shit I expected out of a lot of Assassin's Creed, because it's rated M for mature for violence and shit to begin with,
I
so
know,
it's like...
mature doesn't mean bloodshed.
I get where you're going. But it's like, due to some of these moves, you would expect, like, cooler effects. Like, they finally added the sniper. Like when you take out the order this year, they added a sniper elite 4 ability where you watch the hidden blade go into the person's heart. Like that's so fucking new. You actually see your hidden blade go through like 3 layers of skin and into their organs, and you watch.
Copied something from.
Yeah, they're starting to bring in more versatiles to bring us more into the game and get us more wrapped up into combat than seeing the same shit every year. They finally brought like 70 other games into Assassin's Creed and mixed them all together. And went, okay, here's like a super RPG, and it's really good.
That was never any of my complaints, man. They should just focus on story in my mind.
Oh no, and that's really where they went on. They added all these abilities.
I'm saying like all that other shit. They don't need to keep adding a bunch of new bullshit. They just need to
no, they really don't. But they are really focusing on the story this year. But
that's why people complain so much about side missions for so many years. It's like, oh, they're not giving us anything. It's like, well, they are actually information. You're just too dumb to pick up on that fucking fact.
No, and I get where you're going. Like, I love the story so far.
Some of that information.
I just do enjoy some of the newer mechanics they've brought in because it's about time Assassin's Creed got the realism to a degree.
Again, it's not a realistic game.
Well, every other game has brought in, like, you have to eat to keep your health going. They've always brought in features like that. It's about time Assassin's Creed just finally followed suit in those few features. Because we've always had, like, potions and that, right? For a health or healing in the older games, you'd always have to drink medicine or something. And then for a few games, it was just an automatic... And then in the other games, it was just an automatic health regeneration, which didn't make sense. I was just like, shouldn't we be taking, like, a medicine or something? And then they brought healing into this, but, like, also you can feast in your longhouse before you go out, and that's even more mandatory, and you should upgrade your bar and bakery, and you can get better stats for it. It's, like, a bunch of super good shit you can do in this game just for, like, eating. Like, they mandatory want you to eat.
No, they just want fucking mandatory playtime.
Well, that too, they really did I don't know how long this game is.
Travis, they want more money. They know people are sitting indoors nowadays, and they're like, well, I'm gonna make you sit in your log cabin for an hour and eat turkey, a virtual turkey. And that will make us money. Actual physical money. Because you sat for fucking 17 hours of the whole time that you ever played that game, and you ain't fucking virtual turkey.
No, like, I get where... Like, I get where you're going, but I get where you're... Like, Assassin's Creed's really doing a longer story now, and I'm loving that. I find it more worth our money to buy the newer ones now, because we're getting 80-plus hours of gameplay.
Yeah, but the last ones were like that, too, and it just depends on how you play them. And again, it's more gameplay because it's making you do a lot of side shit that's just walking around or sitting around. That's I've been doing... But that's like a quarter of the time.
Yeah, and I have only 2 raids left in the area I'm allowed in, and a lot of objectives still to collect, but I'm slowly going through the land. I'm more interested in the raids to do my community. Yeah. I've been upgrading my community more or less, because I still need my boathouse, my bar, and my bakery. And a fishery. Because I'm interested in the fishery idea.
The fishery?
Yeah, a fishery. It's the first time... It's just the first time they've ever incorporated fishing into Assassin's Creed for a job and money and food income, and I'm like, alright, that's cool.
Vikings, again, lived off.
Yeah.
If you go to fucking Sweden, you're gonna see a lot of fish.
Yeah, and like I said, half the map is Norway, the other half so far is in